Hey, 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 hee, I make poo-poos and pee-pees. Pee-pee, pee-pee. I make poo-poos and pee-pees. Pee-pee, pee-pee.
Nerderotic.com.
We had an article that we've been trying to forget. We actually tried not to talk about it. We gave it a good effort not to talk about the Rewriting Ripley article, but it was signal boosted today by another channel, which was disappointing. And, and as Jeremy from the Quartering said, embarrassing. I don't think that Jack, his opinion is the entire opinion of the channel. I'm sure, all the others have different opinions, so I'm not going to make that assumption. But when he does things like that, it's exactly, it's the same as that frumpy North Dakota senator calling Gina a Yahtzee.
She was a Nazi.
Oh, that's different, right? I'm thinking of somebody else. Well, she's not a Nazi.
She's a white. She's
involved in white supremacy. You're calling her a
She's called other people Nazis.
Right.
So
which
is the Nazi.
Okay, everyone's a Nazi now.
Yeah.
She does hang with white supremacists.
It's like a Mel Brooks.
She does?
Movie.
Yeah.
See, they just perpetuate the lie over and over again. And they laugh at this point. Remember, that chick on Bill Maher, she laughed after she called Gina a Yahtzee because it's a big fucking joke to all of these. Yeah. When he says stuff like this about us, we share subscribers. For Christ's sake, most of my videos lead right into a Red Letter Media video.
Almost all of them.
Yeah. Everything was going to Red Letter Media, and I'm fine with that. I have no problem with their channel. I'm not too familiar with this Jack Packard guy because, quite frankly, every time I see him come on screen, I just kind of dip out.
No, he's working for the Escapist now, though.
Oh, okay.
He's been working for the Escapist for a little while. He's not like a mainstream Red Letter Media guy. He's a contributor every now and again.
There's no way that if you've paid attention to The Last Jedi, you don't think that there's a huge divide. Like, it's a massive fucking divide.
Jack, do you like The Last Jedi? If you don't like The Last Jedi, then I guess you're a racist. Like,
he literally
too. Like, what is the argument here?
You could forgive Jack Packard for being duped, but he has got all day. He's been defending his position. Yeah, he even said, "Oh, I think conservative leaning versus alt right is splitting hairs." Are you?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Are you kidding?
Dude, what an asshole!
Yeah, dude. What do you mean? You're talking about a fringe group of about 700 people in this country versus 40 million.
Yeah, half of the political. Half of the country. Oh, if you mildly disagree with me, then you're either a Nazi or whatever. We're splitting hairs.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I watched Tim Pool's video talking about the Crowder thing, and he was talking about how they're trying to blend this conservative and alt right. They're trying to make them seem the same thing now.
Yeah,
it's the way they're. Yeah, but they're really going aggressive now.
It's working. If you remember that Inverse article where they talked about the stands, right? And they said they asked them about conservatives, and they were very confused because they conflate the word conservative with the word bigot. It's inseparable to them now because of what the mainstream media, because of what's being taught in our schools and all these things. Red Letter Media got a lot of traction off their disdain for The Last Jedi.
Yeah, that was a good tweet.
Right.
Does that mean that you're participating in this? Does that mean that if you think it's bad that you're one of those alt-right people? I would assume you don't think that, but you had the same opinions. So you're saying that this is well-sourced and well-cited. Both those are absolute dog shit. Yeah. The entire thing's full of misquotes. The entire thing's full of ridiculous nonsense like Gary, where they're like, Gary tried to say that Taika Waititi would ruin the Marvel mythos. When Taika Waititi is the one that said that.
Yeah.
It's
not well cited, dude.
People are fucking disgusting, and the fact that they wrote a 71-minute word salad article, it's to fool dumbass motherfuckers just like Jack, and it works.
He's not going to apologize. He's not going to step back. He's only going to step forward and continue to put up walls, and he's never going to accept that, oh, maybe I was incorrect. Oh, I read it, and
that's the real sad part.
Yeah. I didn't mean to connect everybody. He's going to go, oh, yeah, if you're partially right, then you're basically a Nazi.
All this hate I'm getting only confirms
exactly
that I was correct.
You guys are all Nazis.
Yeah.
All the people that are ratioing me to all hell.
The sad part was that Jack quotes in absolute idiocy. I think the article has two interesting points. That demonstrably the praise outweighed the hate by 2-1, while we all had a feeling of being equally divided. You know what? The fact that the average ratio on Twitter of positivity versus negativity is 2-1.
Yeah.
So this is a misnomer. It's not The Last Jedi specific at all. If anything, it proves that there was no additional hate. Then some alt-right associated sites jumped on hating it. The algorithm can spiral viewers deeper into the alt-right. Dude,
they're going off of Twitter for the most part and not YouTube, which is a much bigger platform and a better cross.
And Twitter isn't reality.
22% of US adults use Twitter, and that skews very heavily female and very heavily left-leaning. 90% of tweets on Twitter are made by 20% of the fucking people there.
Upper middle class white people.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
76% of people in the United States use YouTube. That's only the people that are actually signed in, that actually have an account. So it's probably more like 80 or above. That's pretty big. So if you're going to take these sample sizes from these different forms of social media, that would probably be a better one to look at and more representative. Still not scientific by any way, shape, or form, but much better than fucking Twitter.
And it would have proved their point better, actually, because the YouTube narrative around it was almost exclusively negative. That's how dumb they are. They completely ignored a home run to prove their point, to lie about data on Twitter.
How would you jump from I don't like a science fiction film to I'm a Nazi? How does somebody even begin to come up with that?
Because if you call out
Gamer Day.
Clown World.
We're
in Clown World,
dude.
Fucking bizarre. It's so beyond logic, and that's why you can't take shit like this seriously. Disney, one of the worst records of a company. You know, Walt Disney himself was a horrible anti-Semite. Disney themselves are thanking the Chinese people who are currently neutering a population over there at the moment, and the media are running with guys who don't like Star Wars are Nazis. It's fucking beyond comprehension to me.
I've never heard any normal person, like if you talk to any actual Star Wars fan, like who isn't a part of our kind of bubble, they'll say like, it wasn't very good. That's what they'll say about The Last Jedi. They're not like that emotionally invested.
Did you report them to the police?
Obviously, yeah. It was shoot on site, actually, and then they awarded me.
FBI.
Yeah. What drives all this is actually, in my opinion, stan culture, because they're the ones that are like the REYLOS, and they're the ones that are hyper progressive. They're the ones that canceled Gina Carano, and they're the ones that are always behind all of this stuff. And a lot of it is bot driven, and it's astroturfed, and it's artificial outrage, because if you go on the street, there are still people buying tickets a year in advance to Star Wars films, and they have no idea about any of this stuff. It's just all this astroturf, fake, inorganic rage bait from the media.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.